Namaste, and I'm going to now start the awareness part. You have all been working on being aware of the breath and things like that. We will do that once more, but this time I want I'm going to give you all a little bit of theory as to what we are attempting to do. As we all know, in the Purusharthas we have there are four Purusharthas, or Purusha Artha means the reason why we are alive. The first one is to understand that these are the four drivers of life. First is the Artha, the second one is Kama, the third is Dharma, and the fourth is Moksha. Now, Artha and Kama are intertwined. For example, this is a mobile phone. You will not buy it if it does not look pretty. That means there is a hard element and there is a soft element. The hard element is the physicality, the physical conditioning, or the way it is. The soft, the karma or the sensual part is the way it looks. It looks pretty, it looks this, it looks that. Many of you will buy a mug or a dress. The dress is a dress, it is supposed to clothe you. But you will buy it because it looks pretty on you or it looks nice or something like that. So there is a hardware and there is a software. Karma um, does not mean sexuality. It is sensuality. That is the usage of the various senses to get biofeedback from that particular object to yourself. It does not matter whether the other object has senses, in which case it is a jiva, or it does not have senses, in which case it is a jadam. Whether it is a jiva or a jadam, it is going to give you feedback. So you will sometimes like it, you will not like it, and that will be a combination of hardware, which is artha, and a software, which is the kama. All of this you cannot enjoy if there is no order or harmony around you. That is dharma. So these three are existential requirements. The fourth is a very unique requirement, which is moksha. Now, moksha, when we are talking chapter 3 today, we will understand, we will get into the drivers of moksha during Gita class. But here, we will go into the actual application. Now, what happens is, we have a body. This physical body is Annamaya Kosha. Now, if you break it down, the first thing that you will realize is that it is muscle, sinew, tendons, and things like that. Then you have the organs. All of these organs are interlinked with each other. They form a composite functioning entity. When if one part is under stress, it affects the rest of the body. Which is why, at a very elementary level, crude level, it is the medical fraternity calls it homeostasis. That is when your blood pressure is is between, it is close to 120 by 70 or 80. That's considered to be perfect. When your blood sugar is at a particular level, that's considered to be perfect. So all your they look at various parameters, your body temperature, everything, and when it's all in a particular state, it is called homeostasis. But you can take homeostasis to a different level. How do you do that? There are two ways in which you can do that. One is you can give auto suggestion. You can tell your own body to relax. When you relax, when you tell your body to relax your muscles, what happens is the muscles slowly begin to lose the tension. Like I have said before in other classes, the muscle consists of two strings. One is called a stressor, one is called a compressor. So the stressor, when you push this way, this will stress and this will get compressed. When the stimulus is left, it goes out of stimulus, it goes back into neutral position. And that is what we must try to achieve. within the body. So we need to get to that neutral position where all muscle groups get into neutral position. That that is still a gross element. Then there is a subtler and subtler and subtler element. Like for example, your stomach, your abdomen has lot of organs. That is the stomach, the liver, the pancreas, the kidneys, the intestines. All of these are covered with blood vessels, and they are all, it's like a jumble. It is like everything has been squeezed into a bag, and they are all held with each other with tissue. Now, when it is the way you are able to relax that entire abdomen will determine how prana will flow. And that is the, so slowly that subtlety that you are looking for begins to get deeper and deeper and deeper. So you go from the gross level, which is the stula level, to the sukshma level. The sukshma level is an important evolution. So you need to actually sit in one place quietly and reflect on the body. When you do that, the second thing that happens, the second way of doing it is when you focus on prana. When you focus on prana, what happens? The most elementary thing is the vayu, the air going inside. That air goes and hits a point which is an intersection here. It's the olfactory globules. Okay, the olfactory sensation, it goes and hits it. And that transmits the sensation to what is called the amygdala. The amygdala is basically the primary response center. It tells you whether there is threat or there is no threat. So you evaluate threat and then you decide what action you must do. If the breath is what you call jagged or it is not modulated, what happens is that there is constant feedback, biofeedback coming into the brain. And so the brain is constantly stressed and it is constantly trying to trying to cope with the situation that is in. This creates a lot of stress within the body. So when you begin to do breathing, it then what you end up doing is to, when you breathe in a manner which is under your control and which is where the flow is steady, it is not broken, there are no undulations, then you begin the amount of the airflow over the olfactory system is very even. So what happens is that the amygdala begins to get the stimulus that there is no problem. So what I'm trying to say is that the amygdala senses any change in flow or quality of breath, which is why breathing is a very critical element of homeostasis. So that is from Annamaya Kosha, now you have Pranamaya Kosha. These are the two physical aspects. They are called stula. They are stula or gross or physical, what you can actually sense. Then what happens is that in order to be able, you can go to the next level, which is to control the way data is coming into your system. So you would have noticed, suppose you are getting data continuously, you're being hit by data all the time. Let us say that you are cooking at home. Your child comes and says, my homework is not done. The maid comes and says that somebody is she doesn't know where the mop is. Then your son or somebody else comes to, the doorbell rings. When all this happens simultaneously, what happens to you? Suddenly there is a change in the way you breathe and the way you, the whole thing begins to get churned. There's turbulence. That is because your data points are all getting congested. There is so much data coming in, there is congestion. Unless you resolve each of these, you are going to have a problem. The Annamaya Kosha and the Pranamaya Kosha will help you, but the ability to control the flow of data and not allow it to heat up your system comes with practice. That is manomaya kosha. Lastly, you have vijnanamaya kosha. Vijnanamaya, what is vijnana? Vijnana means whatever data comes in from the external environment is getting, because we are part of an environment. That is, we are in a spatial relationship with our environment. So, when I'm sitting here, I'm in a room. I'm part of a room. Now, my identification with the room is critical for me to experience my own identity. If you take me and put me in a different place, I will immediately become anxious because I'm not used to it. If you tie my eyes, if you remove some of my senses and take me to another place and then open my senses out, there will be complete chaos because my identity will not be able to get its anchor points. Right now, what is my anchor points? This room, this book, this everything, all of this becomes my anchor point. Similarly, for everybody, it's not just for any individuals. Anybody, even a dog, even a cat, they will always, you take them to a new place, they begin to get agitated and anxious. So the thing is that your ability to be calm in that state again comes with practice. Today we are going to look at only two parts, the Annamaya Kosha and the Pranamaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha we will do also, and that will be through silence, where we take the gap between the inhalation and the exhalation and try to increase the gap, and then we try to integrate everything into ourselves. So now I'm going to close this particular theory part, and then I'm going to ask you whether you have understood it, because this is the practical experience of slowly reaching moksha. And if that is basically the objective of yoga vidya. If we are not able to hit moksha, we are wasting our time. So I want to ask whether you all have understood what I'm saying and what your own experiences are, because I will also learn in the process. Please, feedback time. We'll give it. We'll start. It's now 3:24. At 3:30, we will do the exercise. Yes, please. Please give feedback.
Sir, I think you start with the exercises and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, but if I don't know whether you all have understood, then the exercises anyway we will do. That's not the problem. Okay, Lata Narayan madam. Yes.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. It's been. I think the explanation is very clear, sir. To just recapitulate in one sentence, please clarify if my understanding is right. You said Annamaya Kosha, and that is a physical body. So to relax your muscles and all of that, we can give auto suggestions. Then there is a Pranamaya Kosha, which is basically the prana control, which we do through various breathing exercises and prana. So that is the way to relax or to take control of the Pranamaya Kosha.
No,
And
one moment. No, the thing is that the key here is the flow of air. That is, the flow should be equal, not jagged, not uneven. That is the ultimate objective of when you do that, then there is no stimulus going into your amygdala to say that there is anxiety. You understand
so
what I'm
that
saying?
is done, yes, sir. That is done through pranayama.
Yes, prana. Yes,
Okay,
that is
and
pranamaya.
and then you went on to say that manomaya kosha is how to improve the volume of air that your chest can hold, which is what we are practicing in this class. The breathing, the flow, and all of that. So when we have an improved, when we are able to improve that, then automatically the Manomaya Kosha gets taken care of.
No, no, no. Manomaya kosha is control of the senses. That is, we have sight, we have the smell, we have the sound, we have the skin. So what happens is that these we are constantly getting information from various sources. When when that data comes in, that is all getting collated at a single point and getting converted into something that is personal to us. That place where it is getting collated is called the manas. See, in the Western world, it's called mind. There is no such thing called mind. Mind is a place where they say that the mind will do the thinking, this, that, and all that. Thinking, mind, these are two things which are not quantifiable. Whereas in our yogic system, the manas is the place where you collate the data that comes through the senses. Another important thing that so what happens, let me first do this. So in the manas, you need to be able to deal with data. Sometimes you'll get only one piece of data which you can easily resolve based on your processor capability. If all of us are born with a certain amount of capability in terms of processing data. Some of us are extremely good. Some of us are extremely good in certain things. So when you, for example, you're a chartered accountant, you might be able to process multiple data points. Somebody is telling you that this GST is not being paid. Somebody is telling you that the ledgers are not balancing. You will be able to take everything in and be able to churn out outcomes, even though it is multiple data points. It may be difficult for you that you are going in you're driving, suddenly you've got 4 5 different vehicles, one taxi fellow coming like this, one scooter chap going that way, and suddenly the whole you're unable to process that data. So it is that each of us has a certain strength in which we process data. That data processing capability is the manas. The entire data comes to the manas, and our ability to control that, the ability to be silent when the data comes in, and our ability to kind of break it down into granularity and process it without getting anxious is key. Am I making sense of it now?
Yes, sir. Yes, so we achieve this through the exercises that you teach us, so that we expand our, the capacity to hold air and to slowly release air. So the control
No,
happens
that
through
is
that,
through the
or
silence. That is
that is
through the
through
practice of
silence.
silence. The pranamaya kosha is the one, the prana and the releasing of air is for pranamaya kosha. Thereafter, I take you into dhyana. You remember the silent part.
Yes, sir.
So that is, it flows in. These are all, they are all interlinked. There is no discreteness. They are all interlinked. So when we go into manomaya kosha, that's where the zone of silence starts coming in.
Okay, sir. Fine. I understood. I have
I'm
understood.
confusing. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you even more now.
No, 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 sir, not at all. I mean, so we've talked three koshas, and you've said how to go about, bettering our life through the control of these koshas. So pranamaya kosha and manomaya kosha is what we try to help through this class, and the annamaya kosha we try to help through the auto suggestions to relax.
Yes. Then the third, last is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. That again is the zone of silence. It goes into deeper silence. The interesting thing is, in Manomaya Kosha, what I want to talk about is the most fundamental, the senses, that is the Indriyas, are all linked to a particular Bhuta. That is, smell is linked to earth, taste is linked to water, the sound is linked to space, eyes are linked to fire, and the skin is linked to air. So if you see when air is flowing, you feel it on your skin. So the thing is that when we do manomaya kosha, the control over manomaya kosha, what happens? Let me give you another example. Each of us is like a computer. We are born with a particular DNA which determines what is the processing capability we have. Some of us are 8-bit machines, some of us are 16-bit machines, some are 32-bit machines. We can process a lot of data. Some of us have 16 MB GB RAM, some of us have 64 GB RAM, some of us have 500 GB hard disk, some of us have 1 TB hard disk. All of us are different. Our motherboards are different. Our processors are different. Now what happens is that as when we are young, our mothers are the first people who start loading the operating system. We are born with only, it's called the CMOS, that is what input output system. Okay, our BIOS, basic input output system, is only what we can cry, we can perform ablutions, we can sleep, and we can eat. These are the 4 things that we come with. Our mothers actually load the fundamental operating system. Then the father also participates. Thereafter, once the parents have loaded the operating system on which we will put everything, we go to school, but that is loaded. The school then loads another a complementary operating system. And thereafter, the friends give us our apps. But as we grow older and older and older, we keep loading our system without removing any of the programs that are redundant. So in the end, what happens? Whenever we are processing data, we already have a lot of resident information. That is the baggage that we are with. That begins to slow down our computer. So when data begins to flow in, we are unable to process that data. That then begins to become a bottleneck operation for us. Essentially, the primary aspect of yoga when we do, especially in Vijnanamaya Kosha, we focus on removal of baggage. All those systems, all those unwanted programs, apps, everything we begin to get rid of. Because when we begin to get rid of, the processor begins to speed up. We are able to understand more because now we have got wisdom also. We have our prarabdha karma has already been more or less completed, and then now the wisdom begins to start kicking in. We are able to understand, process more with less amount of heat. We don't need so much of power. And that is when we begin to optimize ourselves. So in Vijnanamaya Kosha, that is what we do. But ultimately, we are all like computers. Our ability to process information is more, it's live. That's the only difference. We are all alive. That's the only difference. Am I making sense to you all? Okay. Right. That's great. Thank you very much. So now what we'll do is we'll do the practice. Okay. So please sit in Padmasana preferably. The reason Padmasana is preferred is because it will keep you stable. And then please close the prana circuits by any mudra is fine. And then let the tongue reach the top of the palate. So now I will begin the instructions. Sorry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the brain. Relax the brain. Relax the left side of the brain. Relax the back of the brain. Relax the right side of the brain. Relax the front of the brain. Relax the brain. Relax the eyes. Feel the eyes muscles relax. Relax the ears. Relax the ears. Relax the throat. Relax the jaws. Relax the shoulders. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. Relax the chest. Relax the back. Relax the abdomen. Relax the hips. Relax your legs. Relax your legs. Relax your whole body. Feel the breath go in and out. Let the breath be in a flow. Don't force the breath. Let the abdomen fall in and suck the breath in. Observe the breath as the abdomen goes in and out. Four, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Let go. Relax. Relax. Now we will do Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. So you have to alternate the sides, left and right. Yes, Lalita madam.
I was hoping my little issue would sort out itself. So I might not have told it repeatedly, but long back I had mentioned I'm not able to breathe out for
Fully.
that long, and especially hold.
Mm.
I feel desperate to take a breath in. I can
Then,
hold when I'm doing by myself. I've gone up to 10 also to breathe in and hold. There is
yeah.
no problem. But breathing out with great difficulty, 6 is done when you are counting. But by the time it is 2, 3 holding, it just becomes desperate kind of thing to breathe in.
No, no, no.
So,
Don't worry. It is a problem which I used to face also. The issue is, see, each of us is built differently, and it comes with practice. Now, I don't know how much of practice you are doing, whether you are.
I am doing fairly regularly. So
Mm,
that's why
so
today
what?
I thought I must tell because it is
It,
not, especially only breathing out. Exhale, it goes smoothly, but somehow with great
holding.
difficulty, 6 I stretch. Then
Are you
holding is
comfortable with
very
four?
difficult.
Are you comfortable with four?
Yeah, 4 is fine.
Okay. So then what I suggest is for the class, because I want to increase the Bahya Kumbhaka,
I
I will
will
go
I
to
will
6.
stretch that. Yes.
So
But
for
when I'm doing, you
I
are
do it
saying
only
do
3
4.
times. Yeah, you say 4 in, 4 hold 4, 4 out, hold 4. Or if you can do 6 6 out, so 4 4 6 4. If you can do, that is good enough. Whatever you want,
Okay.
whatever your body is willing to take, do that. We are not here. The
Uh,
thing is, we should not punish your body. This is not some
I'm
kind
able
of a
to
torture
take in
test.
longer and hold longer. Inhale, I can take longer, and I can hold it longer also. Should I increase that?
Actually, it is the more important thing is the exhalation part. The reason I'll tell you why.
Exhalation. Hmm.
The reason why exhalation is more important is because think about it. No, the lungs is about 3.5 liters. At every real breathing stroke, we do between 500 to one maximum 750 ml is what we breathe in and breathe out. Now, if you have 3.5 liters and you have just 750 ml breathing in and breathing out, obviously every part of your lung is not being used. Then there is another thing called
Yeah.
residual volume. Residual volume means what? It's about 1.2 liters. If you were to mar ke, if you were to breathe out, maximum you can go to, you can breathe out another 1.2 liters. So the maximum you can take out is about 2.7, 1.7 liters. The rest of that is resident inside the lung. Now, if unless you try to breathe out a lot more, you can't get in more fresh oxygen. No. So what happens is
Hmm.
that when you don't bring in more oxygen, the volumetric efficiency of the lungs is not changing. You are not increasing the oxygen content in your blood. So that is why breathing out is very important.
Okay.
Because when you breathe out, you are emptying your lungs, automatically you will take in more.
More. Yeah, I know. I get the logic of it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Try, no,
Hmm.
it's okay. Try,
Yeah.
try
I
as
will
much as
try. I'll
possible.
try. Yeah, I have been trying. Yes. Okay.
Hmm.
All
So
right.
that
I'll
is
try
why I'm
more.
asking you to breathe out more. Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
So now we will do Nadi Shuddhi. Okay, excuse me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in left. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in right. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in left. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in right. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax, relax, relax. Is there anybody who has feedback?
I find Nadi Ishwajana, this one easier to breathe out the full this and hold easier.
Okay.
I don't know how, but it was much easier. It was smooth.
No, the reason is because possibly now your brain has understood the reason why you need to do it. It is resisting less. It's psychological also. A lot of it is psychological.
No, but I knew the reason even earlier. You had told us.
Well. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, now we will do Kapala Bhati and then we will go to Dhyana. Okay. So you have your abdomen. Relax your abdomen and then try 10-15 times. I know some of you are more comfortable with this particular thing. Lalita madam, this is also a very good pranayama to increase your um, the volumetric efficiency of the lungs.
Okay.
Have you all tried this? I'll give you about 30 seconds to try and then we'll go to the dhyana part. Okay, I've got feedback that it's over, and so now what I'll do is I'm going to give you all another important physiology of breathing. Okay, here at the back, here just below the the skull ends here. Just below that is the brain stem, and back of the brain is just below that is the medulla oblongata. The brain stem regulates breathing, and the medulla oblongata also supports it, and it also supports sleep. So when you relax these points, very often you'll notice that if you're feeling very tired and you do this, or somebody does this for you, this particular part of the head, if they massage it, you feel terrific. That is because that area is a very important thing which regulates breathing and stress. So this is something that you all can include when you all are doing exercises or when you are doing relaxation, especially before you go to sleep. If you when you're breathing, if you kind of touch that particular point and when you breathe in, you'll see it will move out a little bit, and then when you breathe out, it will come in a little bit. Just calm that place down. Within seconds, you'll fall asleep. So this is another thing that you all need to think about. You can think about. Okay, now I'm going to give instructions. We've got another 10 minutes, so I would like to let's start. Please sit comfortably, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Focus on the breath. Just look at the breath. Now this time there is going to be no controlling. You just look at it. Like the breath is different from you. You are an observer of the breath. It's going in and it's coming out. And there is, in the interval between the inhalation and exhalation, or exhalation and inhalation, a small gap. That silence, try to take that silence from wherever it is and try to bring that silence to the brain. Experience the silence in the brain. The silence in the eyes, in the back of the head, in the jaws, in the neck, in the back of the neck, the shoulders, the chest, the back, the abdomen, the hips, the legs, the arms, the fingers. Let everything be silent. If you feel any part of your body experiencing some kind of congestion, just relax that body, that part. Take your awareness to that part and relax it. It's like you're separate. You're telling the body to relax and to be silent. You're an observer. The body is the temple. Now you stay in this position for about 3-4 minutes. We will just, so that you are able to rest. Remain silent. Come to the present, relax, come to the present, relax. Now, please give feedback. It's important that we discuss now because at the end of the day, yoga is practice. And one thing that I wanted to ask of everybody is that many of you will experience a kind of a buzzing within the brain. Were you are able to experience that buzzing within the brain, and were you are able to feel that buzzing begin to subside, the movement inside the brain?
I didn't feel any buzzing. On the contrary, today it was very peaceful, very calming.
Okay.
One of the quite deep one. I really, in fact, it was now to come out of it like that, I was feeling bad to come out of it.
Can I make a suggestion, madam? Now that you know how to get into it, please practice as much as possible to get into it, and
Yes.
increase the duration as much as you can. In fact,
Yeah.
if you are able to do that, the rest of whatever you have done in the class has got no value. Believe me, that is the ultimate. When you are able to get to that point,
Okay.
that is the zone of silence that you can get and emulate and increase is the core of everything in yoga.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
What about others? Anybody who could experience that feeling of movement or any feedback is fine. So, only Lalita madam gives feedback. Our rest also should start talking. Even if you say everything is okay.
Yes, sir. Sudha here, sir. Like what ma'am said just now, today it was very calming and very peaceful for me today. So I actually, the same feeling, I didn't want to come out of it. When you said, okay, now it's done, I was like, oh, it's over so soon. So it is a wonderful feeling. Like you said, it's a matter of practice. I just have to sit longer at it. So that was really helpful.
You're the person who sits in the bus and goes, right?
Yes, sir. I'm sitting in the bus. Yes, I would
So
on a working day. Yes.
now you know what you're going to do for 1.5 hours.
You're right. I got it.
What will happen is you might fall asleep. Don't worry about it, okay?
Sometimes it borders on this. I'm very doubtful. Am I actually sleeping or am I just zoned in? So that's a little bit of a confusion for me
It used to
sometimes.
happen to me also. There was a time when I used to go by bus to work,
Okay.
and when I used to practice, I would fall asleep.
But then
And
bus, I won't fall asleep for sure because it's a very bumpy ride.
okay, okay,
Anyway,
Sir,
thank you, sir. Thank you.
okay. Who else? Come on, one more
sir,
feedback, and then we close down.
sir, sir, I just wanted to add that maybe because of this afternoon time, sometimes this breathing, we would have all had lunch a little while ago only. So maybe because of that, I feel it is a little strained at times.
That's
But
possible. That's
but
possible.
that's
It's possible.
yes, same thing when I do in the morning. It is definitely better. Uh, Especially if it is done in an open area, certainly better it comes, sir. Just wanted to share that much.
I totally agree with whatever you're saying. If you sit in the balcony and do it, no,
Yes.
well, number one, the air is fresh. Of course, if you do it in a place like Mumbai, then you have a problem. Delhi also, you have a problem. It's probably smarter not to do it in Delhi at all. But the thing is that at the end of the day, doing it in the morning means the oxygen content is higher in the atmosphere, so you get greater benefits. The unfortunate part is the classes. I cannot keep the class at a different time, so I
No, no,
keep it at 3 o'clock. So
understandable.
I
That's,
and as householders, we all have our responsibilities, and it's almost impossible to eat before everybody else.
yes, sir.
And so I can totally empathize.
Yes.
Uh, okay, I'm going to close the class now, and if anybody has any final words, we'll take them on board. Okay, I'm going to stop.